This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
breaking news!
Breaking news! All right, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Macho Madness, whereas youngsters of the community will be taking over and we'll be sending up all the old folks out to the old homes where they belong. Where Boomer Talk Radio belongs. No Boomer Talk today, okay?
Ooh, yeah.
No Avatar Talk.
Ooh, hey, wait a minute. I like Avatar.
No.
Come on, we gotta talk about some Avatar.
No Snyder Talk.
Yeah.
No nothing. No Will Smith talk.
Will Smith,
Okay.
no. I'm tired of the memes. I'm tired of all that shit.
The memes are okay. Come on, the memes
No,
are good.
no.
Don't
That is
shit on
lower.
The memes
That
are
is the
great.
lowest common denominator humor. That's low hanging fruit. I'm sick of seeing this shit.
I did see one video that cracked me up. It was a CGI deepfake of Chris Rock as the zebra he plays in Madagascar and Will Smith as the
Oh yeah.
he slapped him. It was amazing. But no, this is the first episode of Macho Madness. Welcome. We have DL, Black Ops, and Eddie. Many more to come on the next episodes. But we'll be doing this every other week on the channel, so be sure to tune in. Probably every other Wednesday, same time. We might change the time to 5 PST time next time, so we'll have more people on and stuff. But how's everyone doing today? How you guys doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
Exhausted.
Yeah, I'm tired too, bro.
Exhausted.
I literally just woke up, so I pulled a max.
Yeah. See, these old people have such a huge influence on these young people. It's crazy.
Wearing off on us.
Unfortunately.
No, but so the first topic today I want to talk about, it's going to be a controversial subject. Max, I know you're not going to like, I'm going to pull this video up, but it's okay.
I love controversy.
Oh, our first episode of Art doing crazy shit.
Canceled first episode. Pilot episode doesn't even air.
Yeah.
But no, this is going to be kind of a controversial subject, just because it's a controversial person saying these things. He's in the movie talk community for sure. He's been on a bunch of other people's streams that is very controversial. Max does reaction videos to them, of course. But I want to reassure Max and other people that I don't agree 100% with this person's views, although I do think it's an interesting topic for us youngsters of the community to kind of talk about this particular subject from this particular person, if that makes sense. But to cut to the chase, basically, I'm going to bring up a video from Chris Gore. And I know how controversial Chris Gore is. I know I'm going to get some shit for this, and that's okay. Please give it all to me. I can handle it. But it's going to be interesting because he has a lot of solid points onto, his point. But let's bring it up here and share the fucking screen, guys. Video file? No, share screen. Share system audio. Okay. All right. You guys ready? You guys ready for this? We probably won't watch the whole thing because it's like 18 minutes. I don't want to be here for fucking hours, pausing and talking about shit. So whenever you guys want to talk and, let me know and I'll pause it.
Sure.
Let's get to it.
Ads. Gotta love it.
Thank God I can't hear what the fuck you're saying because I could care less.
Audio and learn how to make your own film. I already did. I have a degree.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
I need to go back though. All right.
Someone needs to explain who this guy is in the first place.
So this guy, I don't know exactly who he is. All I know is that he's a nerd like us, and he's like in the pop culture community and stuff. He's a huge film buff, and he just like commentates on the industry and stuff like that on YouTube.
Gotcha.
I think he's like a writer or something. I literally know nothing about Chris Gore. But he has some solid opinions here. Some are overtly negative for like no reason. I'm like, okay, seriously, like you can kind of just go with the punches at that point, but it's whatever.
In an age where most movies are referred to as content, I would say that 99% of most movies are pretty bad. I always try to like when I say
See,
99%, I mean of mainstream. It really is when you look at, and especially I think one of the best examples of this is this Zack Snyder's Justice League and how that was, bungled. How that was bungled, how the Star Wars franchise was bungled, how they could not. I mean, to me, I'm the studio executive in charge of Star Wars, and we're making a new Star Wars movie. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Han, Luke, and Leia in a scene together. And the fact that that moment, we will never be able to have that moment in cinema when Carrie Fisher was alive. That to me
Can you
is.
pause for 1 second?
I mean-
Can you pause for 1 second?
Gotcha.
That sounds like a salty Star Wars fan. Continue.
I know, but that is a universal fucking fact that them not doing that is a huge missed opportunity. In
The
itself.
concept art was
Them-
better than the actual movie.
Them killing off Han Solo the way almost every villain dies in Star Wars and in just film medium in general. How do most villains die? What is the biggest way a villain dies? They fall off a cliff, they fall off a building, they fall off a high point. They killed off Han Solo that way. They didn't even have Leia mourn over him and Chewbacca. I'm not even
It
gonna
was just like
Before
on.
we get into that, I mean, I do somewhat agree with that. I get what you guys are saying about that. Yes.
although, at this point in life, I've kind of accepted that we'll never get that moment, and that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna, it's too late. It's too
One's
late.
dead.
One's dead.
The other one's
The oth-
dead in the movies.
The other one doesn't give a shit.
They're all dead in the movies.
The other one is CGI now.
fair.
That's malpractice.
They're probably
That's
still gonna
studio
try, though.
malpractice. The fact that they had what Zack Snyder's vision, what he was
Oh, of
building
course,
up
I
to
didn't even have to
be,
bring it up.
and I think seeing the 4-hour final product of what Zack Snyder's Justice League turned
Yeah,
out to be, and that they made this
I agree.
garbage thing, Joss Whedon. I mean, it's disheartening to me to see that.
Actually,
I will
it was
say
a
at an indie
masterpiece.
level, I tend to take like a glass half
Shut the
full
fuck up.
view, and I tend to always look for the positive when it comes to indie films, because you cannot compare you can't compare an indie movie shot in 12 days for $10,000 to Justice League, whichever version you're talking about. You can't compare, because in my mind, there is no excuse for a studio to fail when they put out a blockbuster movie. You have no excuse. Your job is to entertain me, not lecture me.
Okay, so this is where I'm kind of like iffy on this. Like, I agree, it's their job to entertain people, but it's not their job to satisfy your needs 100%. And whatever franchise, whatever you love that you're seeing on film, and you have an issue with, and you don't like it, it's not their job to 100% satisfy your needs and the fans' needs as well. So, and I think people forget what these screenwriters go through as well, like with superhero movies in general. They're writing for two audiences. They're writing for the fans that love these comics and love these comic book characters. They're also writing for the general audience so they can bring in more money and stuff, But it's hard to do that. It's
You
hard
can't please everyone. That's just a simple thing. You
Exactly.
can't please everyone.
Exactly.
I
You
think
cater
he
to
used-
one
he used-
audience, you fuck over the other one. You cater to this audience, you screw over this one. Simple.
No,
as
I agree.
that.
And
I-
there's
I
diamonds in
think-
the rough that's able to have a good balance. That doesn't happen enough.
Yeah.
I
No,
think he shouldn't be using Justice League, because in that situation, what happened obviously behind the scenes, I think nobody could have saved that movie the way WB attended, because obviously Joss Whedon came in and he wanted to do his own thing, even though a bunch of stuff was already filmed with the reshoots and all that stuff. So he just put his own mix to the film. But I think anyone in that situation would be like, damn, what the hell do I do? Like, the movie's pretty much done, but I have to come back and fix it and add all this other stuff and reshoot it. Is like, no, I think obviously it's a Frankenstein movie. Everyone knows that, but I think in that situation, I think he's nitpicking certain movies that obviously the people don't agree with because of the circumstances. Like, he'll probably talk about The Last Jedi as well and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And obviously Justice League, but I stand by it. Like, nobody could have saved that movie. If you would have filmed exactly the same way that Snyder did, and yes, But that would be like there will be no use to bring anyone in then, and they will just shoot the same stuff over again. But like I said, I don't think that's fair.
No, I agree, and that's why I wanted to say in the front of the video, like there's a lot of stuff in here that is pretty controversial to some of the opinions we might have, but.
And I wait, just to go on top of that too. When he was saying that's messed up to the fans, what Chris just said is it's you're disrespecting the fans. Look, WB, in my opinion, should have just waited until Snyder was willing to come back. They should have just pushed the movie. I mean, I'm pretty sure at that time it was just the trailers, or the trailers didn't appear yet.
Sorry, Eddie. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Finish. Let's see what you have to say, and then I'll just piggyback off.
If I remember correctly, I don't know if I'm wrong on this. So anyone correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember them maybe trying to push it off, and I do remember him coming back for like a day, and he couldn't do it. I believe he said that on like Dave the Film Junkie.
Yeah.
A while back. But I thought that was interesting. Like they tried and he couldn't do it.
Yeah. Look, I would have pushed it back a year. I would have just went like the New Mutants is a good example. They pushed that shit back for like 3 years.
But you can't push back Justice League.
Not that long, but obviously like a year at least would be good enough. A year or like 6 to 8 months would have been good enough time for them to be like, Snyder, are you ready? If not, we're gonna move on. I'm pretty sure at that time there weren't no ticket sales yet or anything like that, just traders, I guess. So if anything, it would have been like, yo, that's it is what it is. But WB obviously wanted the bonuses to come with Justice League. That's why they were like, whatever, let's just release it.
I mean, even if they didn't like wait for Snyder to come back, right? They could have at least waited to finish their fucking VFX and CGI so it didn't look like a shit wreck.
Like
they could have at least done
that.
Nah, the opening, the first thing you're gonna see is a really fucked up CGI mustache removal. That's the first thing you see, and that's when you know, this might be bad.
Seriously,
now hope and car keys. What the hell?
They just didn't care, did they? I think they went into this knowing that it's not going to do what they want it to. So why didn't they just do a chopped up version of what Snyder already had, like it did with BVS? Just trim it down to 2.5 hours, however the fuck they wanted it, and just let it play how that is. It probably would have made more money than what we had now. At least in Snyder's vision. You already didn't have faith in it, so just let it be, and then go off and do whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that was really weird. How much money they put in? How much money? Justice League was very expensive, especially with the reshoots. But the fact that they couldn't even do a simple edit out, facial hair was kind of, lame.
Yeah, you doubled the budget on some stupid ass reshoots and add-ons, and now you made even less of a profit. Y'all are idiots. Anyway, I made this a rant about the Snyder Cut.
We're good now. We're good.
We're good.
And yes, Ibrahim Khan, this is a new show every other week, every other Wednesday at 5 PST. It'll be all the youngins of the community. And what's up, Isaac? We'll be here, man. For sure, we'll be here when you're done. What's up, Brian? What's up, man?
Brian.
It's going good, man. It's going good. Joss Whedon is trash. That's facts. But I have to give him credit for the task he was brought to do. I can't give him credit for anything, to be honest. For any of the shit he did on.
I mean, the stuff he did was pretty unnecessary. Think of the Wonder Woman shots that were changed with the Flash and ass shots.
Scenes of them talking. He reshooted that.
I agree with that. Look, I will say this. I know Joss Whedon is a bastard, but I do think he is a good director. And if he would have did it from scratch, it would have been a good movie, in my opinion. It would have been a better movie. It would have been a better movie, but I don't know.
I'll be honest. The first Avengers feels like a fan film. It's just it's not.
It's a damn good fan film.
It is. I agree. I agree.
I don't know.
It's still good.
I rewatched it.
It's
Me and
good.
Austin rewatched it recently, and there was just something off about it. I was like, "What the fuck are these camera angles and all this weird?" It just feels so weird.
Full screen, like that's weird to me because it's like the only Avengers movie that's like full screen and has like really. I mean, it looks amazing. Like when Iron Man shoots out of the water and it's all full screen, you can see all the water.
I love full screen.
Like that's great. I love full screen, but it feels so weird considering that all the other ones aren't exactly full screen. So it's just like it's the one movie out of place with the formatting.
Yeah, it's just really weird.
The movie kind of looks like a TV movie too, even though the budget's like $200 million.
Exactly.
Yeah. You keep in mind, like Joss Whedon is like just starting to do like really big blockbusters like this. Is like his first tentpole movie, so he was still being a little awkward here and there. I could tell.
it's not even like the big CGI scenes because those obviously look fantastic. But it's like the scenes when they're all in costume together, like in a secluded area, like when they're in the
Helicarrier.
office in the helicarrier, and like they're arguing over what I forgot what the fuck they were arguing about.
Don't
that's
make Banner angry. Why? You damn know why. Put on the suit then. I'll tell you why.
They were arguing because Fury was doing a secret project with the Tesseract to make weapons.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's some breaking news real quick that we'll talk about. I guess Bruce Willis is stepping away from acting following a recent health diagnosis.
Yeah.
He's stepping away after being diagnosed with aphasia. I believe I'm saying that correctly. A cognitive condition, the same condition Jada Pinkett Smith has.
No, it's not the same condition.
Not the same one?
No, it's
I
not.
think that this one is the loss of ability to understand or express speech, and it's caused by brain damage.
Oh, shit. So
he's
thoughts and prayers for Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
The fucking legend himself.
Dang.
John
Exactly.
McClane himself.
Wow.
No, I
Bengals
always
as
like
well.
I always like Bruce Willis, but in my head I was like, this guy was like he's in so many like weird ass like random movies out of nowhere. It's just I always criticize that, but I always liked him
He's
when
not
he came
just
to the big
stepping
roles.
away. He's retiring.
Yeah, he's retiring.
This is it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Honestly, good for him though. Like,
made a ton of money. He's made a lot of legendary
He
movies.
has.
So
Yeah.
he does. He deserves a healthy retirement, and healthy
True,
rest of his
true.
life.
I agree.
He's a legend. Fucking legend.
exactly.
Sure is.
All right, you guys ready?
Mhm.
Let's go.
All right, for sure.
Your job is to entertain me. Unfortunately, we live in a time, back in the day when Star Wars was first made, I feel like they were checking one box. It was called fun. And now there's a million boxes that must be checked. There are all sorts of noting and committees and this thing, and this is where you end up with, that.
Okay. I understand what he's trying to say, that they have all these, checks that they need to be marked, and they do. They for sure do, and it's very apparent. But I don't think that should take away the fun for some movies for you, to be honest. Like, if there's fun action in the movie, I'm gonna have fun. If there's some politics in the movie, but there's still fun action, I'm still gonna have fun with the action. I don't think that's a fair.
Well,
I don't know, to be honest.
well,
But that's
the thing is with that is that I think it's been talked about before, like why lower budget movies or indie directors are able to take more risk with their films than big budget blockbusters or whatever. It's because it all comes down to money. Studios put so much money into these big franchises where it's like they have to have these checklists for themselves so they can make sure that it's a success regardless. Because if it's not, financially, it could mess them up. So that's why they feel the need of, we need to see this, that, and then that'll be a surefire hit. But as far as indie films, like that's not a huge risk, and they're not very well known. They're able to do more stuff with their own thing because now that people know it's not a risk. It's not like something that the studio depends on like very much. So that's why I like there needs to be a balance between studio notes and like the creative vision of a director. There always has to be a balance.
I can agree. I don't agree with the indie stuff because obviously Star Wars that he does sound like a salty Star Wars fan. Look what he's about to say right now. But
exactly. Yeah.
I think when it comes to Star Wars, no, that's what the thing about the checklist. Obviously, Star Wars is established IP. Obviously, there's expectations of what people want to see, entitlement. Obviously, there's novels, comics, cartoons. Obviously, the movies when it comes to all that stuff. And I think it's more about when it comes to the checklist, what people actually want to see. Because obviously, when it comes to the original trilogy, that was a whole new thing, so you could do whatever you want. The prequels was a whole new thing set back before the original, so you could do whatever you want. But when it comes to the sequel
different
trilogy,
with the prequels because Star Wars is already established as a very
but we didn't know the backstory though. We only got like one line about the Clone
you
Wars,
still
and
had
that's
to
it.
trust with George Lucas because of the original trilogy before.
Yeah.
If the
I
trilogy didn't work, they wouldn't let him do whatever he wanted with those prequels.
No, I agree. When it came to the prequels, obviously people It could be a love and hate relationship with the prequels, but when it comes to the sequels, people already had an expectation. Takes place, years after the original trilogy. So people are saying, okay, because all this stuff is already established. Are we going to see stuff like Luke or Leia or Han? Like, are we going to see all this stuff that's been touched on the comics? Like, because I know they decanonized all the from where Legends, I think, when they took all
Yeah.
that stuff off from canon, and then people were saying, "Oh shit, what are you guys gonna do now?" So yeah, the sequels were rushed, but I think it has to do more with fan service and what people actually wanted to see. Now they're doing it now when it comes to Star Wars. So I think back then, and they did try. I'm pretty sure the Rise of Skywalker they tried to use fan service, but it was already too late. Because the Last Jedi.
There is a thing as too much fan service, though.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And I will say that the fans are just like the customers. I don't think the customer's always right.
No.
But I
Excuse
don't
me, are
think
you
that's
ignoring
special.
the policy right now? You got fine over there, damn it.
Oh, I've gotten into it with people at works before. That's why I won't work in food service no more.
Oh
I,
god.
I won't put up with that shit. I will not put up with that shit.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
You treat me like garbage at my work. No, it's bad.
exactly.
Won't put up
I think because I see someone in the chat saying they worry too much about diversity and forget to make a good story that everyone can relate to. I think in terms of that, we live in a culture now where, if you see someone like me, in a Star Wars movie or show, they're instantly gonna think that there's an agenda or narrative behind it, which is not the case. That's sad. That's sad that people actually believe this shit for everything. But no,
Yeah.
I get it that people are saying that there's too many quote unquote females leading these movies, or they care more about the girls and make the men look stupid. I don't agree with that. It's just that obviously the main character was a woman, Ray, and so it was her story to tell. The people, Poe and Finn, were just side people. But I don't agree in the terms that they cared more about diversity. Because look, like I said, they even admitted themselves they didn't have a story. They were just making it up as they go. So I don't think diversity is the reason why they shit on everything. It's just that they didn't know, they didn't have a plan. George Lucas did give them a route to go to when it came to what he was going to plan himself after the prequels, but then obviously Kathleen Kennedy didn't go with it. But I think that no, there's way more than just so-called diversity when it comes to what happened with the sequel trilogy. Like I said, it was a whole mess. It really was.
Yeah, it was just a whole mess and an amalgamation of just a bunch of different shit. The main thing being unprepared, honestly.
Yeah, but outrage culture did play a hand because people were already mad about the Last Jedi, so it didn't help at all.
Like, how do you go into one of the biggest franchises in the film history with no plan? You think just because it has the logo on it, it's going to make money automatically? No.
I will say this: if JJ did do the second movie, I think it would have been a linear path that it would have been all right. But
It was good.
Ryan Johnson wanted to do his own thing, which was like, oh my gosh, I guess.
Who allowed him to do whatever he wanted? Like, what? I don't know.
And I agree with this, Ibrahim Khan. Again, I've always felt that these ticking boxes, arguments about politics and social commentary is nonsense. Art has always generally pushed liberal messaging. And I agree, Hollywood has always been this way, and it's always going to be this way, okay? There's nothing you can do, okay, to stop it unless you want to infiltrate the entire industry all on your own. Okay.
Yeah, and I do agree about I claim this all the time. Star Wars is definitely political as hell. You'll be lying if you say the prequels weren't political. Like, now you're bugging. When they touched the stuff they touched on, you're bugging.
Exactly, and Dat Boy 22 brings it up. Exactly, it's an allegory for the Vietnam War. Exactly. I think it's people like I wouldn't say it's all their fault, to be honest. I wouldn't put all the blame on them.
No, I wouldn't, because they still messed up the people at Lucasfilm, but no, they helped in twisting people's minds to think that certain things aren't what aren't acceptable when it comes to what they want in their own view of entertainment, I guess.
It's true. Very true. All right, let's get back to this. I figure we'll go probably about like 5-10 more minutes on the video. Okay. Because we're going a little bit too long about it.
That last Star Wars movie by J.J. Abrams is unwatchable. I mean, it's garbage. It's exactly.
I still like it.
Exactly everything wrong with the studio system.
More ads.
We're like a minute or two in, and he's going hard in the paint.
He's going hard.
His
Go hard in the paint.
terrible. So
No
I
chill.
look at like the Justice League debacle, the Star Wars franchise, and how that was mishandled. And I look at that and I just think, how could that have been done? Where was they're ever like looking at like the fans and what they think? You know, what do the fans think of this stuff? Are they satisfying the fans? Most normal people don't care. You know,
It's-
is it entertaining? I'm taking my family, and especially how expensive it is, the movie theater experience, which is going away, right? The theatrical experience of seeing a movie is
Okay, now here's something I want to get into because I saw some debate about this the other day. I forgot what stream I was watching, but I think it was Max's stream. You guys were talking about. I think Isaac brought up movie theaters and streaming and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I think Spider-Man: No Way Home is kind of proof that people want to experience these big movies, these big experiences, these big culmination movies together in a cinema. So seeing the theatrical experience is going away. But this video came out before that movie, so it's kind of contradictive of what he just said right there.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of a ridiculous statement in itself, to be honest. I understand why people feel that way, and I totally respect that. But I don't think the theater experience is ever going to die. If the theaters die, which I don't think they will, as of right now, as of how well things are going for them right now, they could be going better, but they're going pretty well considering the circumstances the last few years. I just don't see that experience going away. And even when it did in COVID, when we were on full lockdown, drive-ins were fucking popping. Drive-ins were
they made a comeback.
They made a huge comeback, exactly.
So, but if the movie theaters ever gone away, do you think that would change the movie industry and like lower budgets and just all movie streaming?
Yep.
I think that, and there's a lot of movies are filmed for the theater. They're filmed for the movie. The sound quality, the cinematography, all of those little details are made for that cinematic experience. So without that kind of motivation behind a filmmaker, they're like, I really want to put this in cinema, make people have the best experience, the best sound quality, the best HD quality, 4K sound coming out of your fucking ass. They want to make these big movies feel big, and without that factor, I think that affects the movies in themselves, that they're just going to go to streaming. Because we have big budget movies on streaming and no one really cares about them, and they're mostly pieces of shit movies. We have movies like that, and I think 100% without that factor in, without the theatrical experience factored in, we're going to get more shitty movies than we ever thought we would.
Yeah. I mean, I'll also add on, as someone who worked at a movie theater, I feel like, yes, people still want the theatrical experience, absolutely. But at the same time, I feel like movie theaters need to sell their game as well. Considering the fact that you have theaters like AMC that's raising prices for no goddamn reason, that's going to deter people away. And he just brought up a good point that it's expensive enough if you have a family and you're taking them to the theater.
Oh yeah.
Like, we want the experience to be worth it. We don't want to go to the theater and waste our time. So with that type of stuff, I feel like theaters just need to think about economically what is the best way to bring people back to the theater. And also, of course, they have to keep in mind with the pandemic and stuff like that. But it's like they need to make it so it's easier for people to go to the movies, or more people would want to go to the theater again.
Tickets are like what, like $15 to $18 for just general audience, and I don't know what it is for kids, but I know it's cheaper for seniors. Yeah, but it's still relatively expensive to bringing the whole family to go see a movie, because tickets in itself are gonna be like around $60-$70 depending on your family size, and then food is even more.
So you have four people. We want to get a large popcorn, some drinks, and some candy. That's like $120 right there.
Yep,
it's a lot of money. So I do agree in that they need to maybe loosen up a little bit on their prices, because it's good. And icy is like $10 for an icy. I can go to a 7-Eleven 10 minutes away and get one for $2.
Exactly. Now it's tricky for theaters because that's the only way theaters make a profit is the concessions. So that's
Yeah.
that's going to be a tricky thing. I think they need to
It is
ease
gonna
up
be,
on the I think they need to ease up on the ticket prices, but that's another whole can of worms. Like the studios will
box
probably
office scores would be completely if tickets change, then that'll impact the box office numbers and impact. Because then it'll be like reverse inflation for the box office. Like the scores are gonna go down.
No, I know.
Man, if every theater could be like a luxury theater with nice seats and you got to get a bunch of food and stuff like that, I
Like
think
you have nice ass seats, your own little pocket, and it's in a big auditorium. You're seeing a movie with big ass sound system.
what?
That would be. Oof.
I'm protesting right now that IMAX tear down the IMAX, the downtown IMAX in Sacramento, and rebuild a better one because it's garbage. Please, IMAX theater
Isn't that
gods,
bad?
listen, please.
I'll
My back
do.
has not recovered. Okay, my back is still in pain from that seat.
Dude, I'm with you. And on top of that, there's not enough IMAX locations in the country as it is. I live in Michigan, and like there's only 2 IMAX theaters in the
They're
entire
more
state.
expensive.
Oh, really?
They're
Yeah.
expensive to have, and I mean you can only have a limited amount. Like say that a movie, you have to have a huge ass movie theater because if you have like 1 or 2 IMAX screens, then you have to have enough room to make up the other stuff. Because I mean, you could fill more people in more rooms of different theaters. IMAX is definitely a way bigger setting, so I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know they're limited, but also it's more expensive to get the building requirements to fit all that plus an IMAX screening or a couple.
I get that. I'll settle for what we have in Michigan, EMAX, because I go to an Imagine Theater and their IMAX is called EMAX. It's not exactly IMAX, but it's like their biggest screen, whatever. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, of course. You want to switch, please? Yeah. All right, we'll get back to the video.
Yeah, like the only IMAX movie I saw was Star Trek 2009, and that was at the Science
Really?
Center.
So I think the first IMAX experience I had, I was a child, and I saw the Walking with Dinosaurs teaser. They had like a 5-minute teaser, and we went on like a school field trip to go to IMAX and see it. And then the first IMAX official movie, the one I was just talking about, was Godzilla vs. Kong. God rest my soul.
Man, I wish I could have saw it, dude. It breaks my heart, me being the MonsterVerse fan, because I saw every MonsterVerse movie in the theater. I saw King of the Monsters in my version of IMAX, EMAX, but Godzilla vs. Kong was the only one I couldn't go see in the theater. I had to watch it on HBO Max. It broke my heart.
I'll be honest. I'm fine. I'm fine. I didn't have to spend money on Godzilla vs. Kong.
I love Godzilla vs. Kong.
Dude, it was
no regrets.
Oh, dude, it was
no regrets. I love Godzilla.
I
vs.
saw
Kong.
it was less than 2 hours. I knew that shit was gonna be bad. It was less than 2 hours. Oh, okay. Don't even get me started.
I love it. I
Brian
know
knows.
it's stupid. I know
Brian
it's
knows.
dumb, but I still love it.
Brian knows
Dude,
exactly what's up with that
The
IMAX.
story is just.
Garbage.
I know it's stupid. I still.
Say, yeah, say
They could have done so much better on GVK.
I love the Megaplex in Auburn. I think I went there to see The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and that movie is fire.
Oh, dude, that movie is awesome.
I love it.
Nicolas Cage one.
Yeah, with Jay Baruchel.
Oh.
Yeah, that movie's fired.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I think there's only like 2 or 3 IMAXs in Sacramento, and the one in downtown's terrible. I don't remember where the other ones are. I haven't been to Sacramento in so long. I don't even know where my own hometown. How many IMAXs are there?
Hey, you're in California, and they don't have that much IMAX screenings. Isn't that like the main place to go to see movies?
Just in Sacramento in general, like there's only a few of them. There's more Dolbys than anything in Sacramento. GVK was epic trash.
Epicness. Thank you. Yes.
Can you guys excuse me real quick? I'll be back in about 6 to 8 minutes.
Yes. Okay. Miscellaneous Eddie.
Oh my.
All right, guys. We'll get to one more point and we'll end the video and talk about some other
Okay.
stuff. I just closed the StreamYard link. Great.
Oh, good job.
Babe,
Yep, no, you
help
didn't.
me. I'll be okay.
No, you didn't.
I didn't close
That's
anything.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we still see everything.
Open the new tab.
Hi, I am high. What?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Click that.
is going away. You had better entertain me. And I think that whether Hollywood
The
notices it or
entitlement.
not, I think that
You better
you don't like
entertain me.
politics
Better
moving
entertain me,
very
right?
mainstream, which should be mainstream entertainment experiences. And I think we're seeing that more and more. It's unbelievable to me. I think you're leaving money on the table for not giving what the customer is looking for in that experience. But so in my mind, studios, there's no excuse to fail. You have the best people in marketing. You have the most talented actors, craftsmen when it comes to special effects and cinematography, music. There's no excuse for that to fail. And I think part of the failing of Hollywood is that the marketing is so.
Okay. I think this is a good point to end this video on. All right. I understand what he's saying. They have all the money in the world. There is no excuse for a movie to even look bad with bad effects. I can agree with that. Okay. But in the sense of displeasing everyone, I would have to disagree highly with that statement, to be honest. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, like at the end of the day, you're not going to please everyone. Like, but I can see where it's like, take for example, the Transformers movies, right?
Yeah.
They have some of the best special effects ever put to film. When the first movie came out, it was something we've never seen before, right? And those movies made billions of dollars, correct? Now,
Yeah, they did.
think how crazy it would be if the scripts were good, if the story was good, if the characters in those movies were good. If the movies are shit and they're still making $1 billion, think of how much better it would have done financially if they were actually good movies. It's crazy that you have people that are able to do such amazing things with the special effects and everything, but you can't make sure that the people writing these scripts are actually doing good work. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And it also doesn't make sense when you have people that have a track record of making shitty scripts or films and they continue to get work. Alex Kurtzman. So like
Oh
that.
God.
So that's
No.
so that's the type of thing where I kind of see where it's coming from. It's like, I don't understand how you have all these resources, but it's like, you continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. Like, you have all the resources in the world, and you get this, you get that. So that's where I get where he's coming from with that.
I mean, you can
Same
have
thing
it
with
be-
Star Wars. You
Yeah.
walk into making new Star Wars films for a new generation, and you walk in without a goddamn plan. Are
You
you
walk
out
out.
of your mind?
You walk out with the building on fire. Fuck.
dude. The concept art,
But it's
they're
okay
all-
because they all
Oh.
still made $1 billion, so no big deal, right? Who really
Except
cares about
Solo.
it?
Solo came in as like, oh, whoa, wait, oh. Star Wars is not the immortal franchise that it was it?
it was still. I think it's still better than the sequels, but
I mean, to
Dude.
each his own.
I mean, to be like, bro, the story. Okay,
Yeah.
Solo is a singular film, but has a consistent story that's pretty
Okay.
decent compared. But then the sequels are all 3 connected movies that are supposed to continue the story and be connected within each other, but they don't even feel like that.
It's true.
Decisions that they made with it are just not good. Not
I
good.
will say I think The Last Jedi is better than Solo. I don't like
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie. I waited
Wow.
5 years to watch it on Disney Plus. And I
I mean-
finally watched, and I was like, I wasn't missing anything.
The one thing I
I'll
like
say
about
Last
Solo,
Last
it did-
Jedi is a better made film, but Solo didn't piss me off as much as Last Jedi. I'll say that.
I can see that. I understand. You know what? I hated that it's so bad too. I don't think any movie should do bad, regardless if I want to see it or if I want it to even be made. No movie should do bad. I want everything to succeed, get sequels, make all the shitty sequels you want.
Except for Texas
Exactly.
Chainsaw Massacre, except for that one.
Fuck that
Yes,
Netflix.
Dude, yeah,
shit.
exactly. I don't think there's a
God.
single person that like accepts that movie. That movie's just hot garbage.
But they're making a sequel, so
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell them, "Fuck you."
I will cancel my Netflix subscription.
Dear God.
just for a month after release, and then I'll get it back to watch all the other good shit that they have.
I mean, at least do a reboot that hasn't been done 20,000 times.
I mean,
they
they
can't-
I've waited 20 years for
Well,
this night, or 40 years for
They
this
should
night.
50 years.
50, however.
They
old.
should
It's like 100 years old, basically.
you know what they should do, because they can't get the rights to Nightmare or anything like that, because I think New Line just went through a whole debacle with Nightmare on Elm Street and all that
Oh
other shit.
boy.
So did Friday the 13th with that
I don't know. They could have
LeBron
had a
James produced
better
movie. Dear God.
Wait, hold up,
Please,
LeBron.
no more
wait,
of
what?
those.
Hold up. Hold up.
LeBron James is producing
LeBron James is also
Friday
going
the
to play
13th.
Jason.
No.
Oh
it's
my
not.
god! Wait, so is someone gonna throw a rocket at me? He's gonna fall down and like that's the end of the movie? Like they beat Jason?
Hey,
Isn't
I
it,
thought
like-
Michael Bay producing Friday the 13th was weird.
I like that movie though. I like
Yeah, that was
it was
enjoyable.
pretty good.
Oh
It
my
was
god!
really dumb,
LeBron
but I
James
enjoyed
is
it.
so no, dude, no.
Anything
Dude.
with the humans,
That-
I
oh,
wanted
that
to
is-
claw my eyes out.
That just ruined my night, dude.
You know what they
LeBron
should
James-
do though? Now that Alien is having its own show on Hulu, okay, and Predator, the new Predator movie is going on Hulu.
Don't
okay?
you dare! Don't you
see,
dare!
see what I'm saying here?
Don't.
You know,
You're about
another
to
No.
me out now.
maybe
No!
another
No!
third movie. Let's go for it. Come on, let's go
No.
for free.
For what?
Come on, it's not too late. It's never
The-
too late.
What? A third
The
what?
only way
Alien
I
vs.
would.
Predator.
Oh hell no!
No,
Oh hell
no.
no!
The
Hell
only
no.
way I will watch another Alien vs Predator movie is if they get a. I want a valid, a good script writer. I want to know who's writing the script, and I want to know who's directing. If both of them are not good, I'm not even taking average. Don't give me average. They better both be good screenwriters and good directors.
All right.
That's the only reason I
Here's
will
an interesting
watch.
question.
What?
Who would you guys want to see do that movie? Any director, anyone you want.
That's a tricky.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say
James Wan.
George Miller,
For
Alien versus Predator.
Actually, that's a good choice. That's a good choice.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But on that note, I gotta dip. I gotta go start making dinner.
All right, man. Thank you so much
Okay.
for coming by.
Well, hell yeah! I gotta join my fellow youngins.
Hell yeah, man. Taking over the
Yeah.
boomers.
Yeah,
Take it
yeah,
Ranger
take it out, boomers. Take it out. All right.
Hey.
um,
Yeah, either
Wait,
George
so-
Miller or James Wan. I will watch the James
Uh,
Wan.
James Wan.
Predator movie.
James Wan, that'd be interesting because he would be able to go like full horror with the sci-fi that he's already gone to play with.
Yeah.
Alien versus Predator. I don't know who I would give that to. That's a delicate. I'm already
It is
hurt.
very delicate. Yes.
That's a
Why are you hurt? The second one was good.
Wait, which one?
The second Alien, I like the second one.
Oh, Requiem? No, that was terrible.
Yeah,
They're
I like
none of them are good.
That was terrible.
Maybe one's
first one's
watchable,
the second one's watchable.
but
The second
Really?
one's-
Because I couldn't see a goddamn thing in that movie.
Oh yeah, it is pretty fucking dark in the movie.
God, and the editing, dude, from an editing standpoint,
It's pretty.
it
bad.
was almost unwatchable. Like, oh my God. Now the design-
that scene. There is a scene that scarred my childhood because I watched that movie when I was a kid religiously, the first and second one.
Mm.
That scene when the little girl is like looking out the window and she's like, "There's a monster," and the dad goes in the room and like he goes in front of the mirror, or like his back is turned to the mirror and the xenomorph just fucking comes out behind the mirror and just destroys him. Just like that scene fucked me up as a kid.
That was pretty cool.
So
I
did
like-
the scene in the hospital with the pregnant ladies, but I'm
Oh,
not going to go
dude.
into detail about that.
Man, that was too much. I was like, are you kidding me?
That was way too much.
That was
you know who I'd like to see do an Alien versus Predator movie? Either Neil,
Blomkamp.
Blomkamp.
You could
he
do
was
it.
supposed to do Alien 5.
He was supposed to do Alien 5, so or
Bring back James Cameron. Come on.
what's the guy, right? What's the guy that did Machina
Machina.
and
Oh, yeah.
Annihilation. Alex Garland.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he'd make a twisted
He could do it.
Alien versus Predator, like a really gory, twisted movie. Like,
Yeah.
You know what?
I mean, he wrote Dread, that Dread movie.
You know what?
This
Oh.
I'm gonna go on. Oh, we did write Dread. Dread's amazing. I'll
Dread's
go on a
really
limb here, and I'm gonna say this just for the gore factor. And I know he has a serious side to him. I know he has a lot of weird humor. A lot of people don't like his humor, but his taste in violence in music would benefit Alien vs.
Oh
Predator.
no.
Yeah, I think
don't
he's
say
cool.
it.
And that name is James Gunn.
God damn it.
No.
James Gunn could do a
No.
badass Aliens vs. Predator movie. Come on. He could do a really cool movie.
He'll be 5 notches up from Shane Black. That's not saying a lot.
I swear to God, if one of the aliens or the predators has a dick or something, I'm gonna be so upset.
Well, you think aliens and predators don't have penises?
I just don't want to see
I
it.
don't want to think about it.
See it. It's not supposed to be in the Alien versus Predator.
Did anyone want to see Batman's penis? No, but
No.
we did.
Wait,
Okay.
when did we see his penis?
And Batman Damned. Batman Damned.
Oh.
It's a comic they released a few years ago.
All right.
It's pretty bad.
Just because you can doesn't mean.
Right. Yeah.
Why
That's
not?
right.
Why not though? I want to see.
Of course you do.
He's back. What's up, Eddie?
Eddie's back.
We're not talking about anything weird. No,
You want to see some alien predator dick?
But yeah, that was the Chris Gore video. We didn't get through the whole thing because that man talks for hours.
Oh yeah, he get to. Looks like he can talk.
Yeah, he does. But there were some interesting points. I thought, maybe we'll come back to that and finish it every other week. We'll go through a segment of it or something. Maybe if you guys are cool with that. If not, it's whatever.
Sure.
But let's get to one of the questions I had for the stream today. What is, in your opinion? Okay, this can be the hot take. This is okay. We're gonna have a hot take segment. Okay, every other Wednesday, we're gonna have a segment about hot takes. All right, I'm gonna put up a banner. Okay.
That'll be fun.
Macho takes. Where is this? Where is the banners? There. No, fuck it. No banner.
I'll do it.
No banner.
You do that.
No banner.
I'll do that.
No banner.
Okay.
No. We're doing this. Okay.
This is why you don't come on the stream baked, ladies and gentlemen.
We're doing this.
Listen.
Okay.
Organized chaos. It's what the people want, DL.
I guess so. This is Macho Man.
People want to watch the world burn.
Oh boy.
Or
Is
watch
that your
the-
hot take? Is that your hot take?
I sense chaos in you.
No, but what is, in your opinion, the most overrated movie of all time? Now it's a heavy question, so I'll give you guys some time to think on it a little bit.
Yeah, give me a minute to think.
Just to run over some hot takes here while you guys are thinking to rile you guys up. The Godfather, overrated. Avatar, overrated trash. Let's see. What do people
This
love?
nigga say Godfather was overrated.
What do people love that I can destroy? What can I destroy right now? How can I make people angry today? Let's see. What's something precious? Blade Runner is overrated.
Oh, I agree with you there. I agree with you 100%.
Overrated.
Not 2049.
No, 24/9 is underrated.
Thank you.
Let's see. What's back here? What's back here
Why
behind me?
What are you looking at, Mike?
The Dark Knight.
Inception.
Dark Knight's overrated.
Sure is.
Overrated.
Let's see. Get that up here. Interstellar's trash.
Yep.
But it's not overrated.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
It is overrated.
It is not a super liked movie. Like
Really?
Avatar,
Every time I hear somebody talk about Interstellar, they're like, "Oh my god, it's so good." Oh,
most
the
Christopher
visuals."
Nolan fans like it.
Move! There you go.
Man.
Sorry.
I'm really trying to think of one that would really just crush people's souls. Like
We're
what?
watching Interstellar
Me too.
tonight.
No, we're not. All right, that's about it. I mean, I have more, but that's it's too much brain cells.
I think the original Lion King's overrated. There's one. There's one. There's one. I'm sorry, man.
I can agree with that.
That
It's-
movie's a masterpiece.
It's not that great.
No, it's
It's
not a masterpiece.
It's not that great.
It is not a masterpiece.
What the
That movie is solely reliant on
Eddie,
people
Eddie,
being
please.
so ignorant to
Eddie,
Scar's
please.
plans.
That's
Please.
okay. I agree. Yes.
Back me up, Eddie,
yes.
please.
Yes.
Come on.
And then it's basically
My
it's a
God.
soap opera for kids, right? It's like Days of Our Lives animated form and with animals. You have the big dramatic
Okay,
moment when Uncle
okay,
getting
okay.
killed.
Hakuna Matata is not look, dude. Hakuna Matata. It's not even about no worries. That's not what the song's about. The song is about
You can't.
the time when Pumbaa farted so bad that the other animals died. That's what the song's about. Because that's the majority of the song. Lily, they took a huge segment of the song, not to talk about, oh, don't worry, there's no worries. No, I'm literally going to tell you about the time I went to a lake to get a sip of water, and then I farted so bad, all the animals ran away. That's what the song's about. That's the only verse in the entire song.
Anthony, I agree in the same sense that people don't know what masterpiece means.
Yeah, what does masterpiece? What does
What-
masterpiece mean to
I
you?
don't look
Or-
at me. Wait, whoa! Why are you
or-
looking at me? You can't just shade me like that.
Or what you imply when you say a movie is a masterpiece.
You just called The Lion King a masterpiece.
It
I
is.
haven't
It's
said
not a
any movie's
masterpiece.
this entire stream.
You know what I'm talking about.
Visually, I will say it's a masterpiece.
What did-
Visually,
what
it's
did
one
you
of the most
say?
gorgeous animated films I've ever
Not,
seen.
no, that's not what this is about, Anthony. It's not about if it changed the genre for decades. Like Avatar changed technology for a lot of things, but it's still an overrated movie.
Right. I think
It's just if we feel that there's a large consensus of society and film in the film, community, if there's a lot of consensus that movie's a masterpiece, then yeah, it's overrated. If someone feels that way, but there's a line where you can't say a movie's overrated if it's not overrated. Like that's like me saying The Hunger Games is overrated, right? But it's not. It's not really overrated.
Yeah.
The books,
the books are. I was just
Oh,
about to say.
No,
the books are overrated. Yeah, I agree with that.
The movies are overrated, but not the books.
The book,
Um,
I guess, they're probably like the second most.
what's a better example? That's like me saying, fucking goddamn it, what is it? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Are we talking about movies that are positive, but it's people aren't saying, oh, it's one of the greatest things ever? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, like overrated movies. that
Okay,
people
like
think-
I think we can honestly say like an overrated movie is probably like Titanic.
Godfather.
Overall
Avatar.
story,
Those
the
are
overall
overrated movies.
story of these movies aren't, it's not something that has you,
It's not
Really?
groundbreaking.
It's not it has you thinking for days or whatever, whatever. It's just like, okay, cool. It was a good story and all that. But it just seems like you said, the overall consensus is just, this is amazing. This is one of the best or whatever.
Well, Anthony, I think that's kind of a contradictory statement, if I'm being honest, because I think if 2049 was overrated and the studio noticed that, they would have made another movie. And
Yeah.
it would have made money at the box office.
Yes.
No one went to go see 2049. That movie barely did any money at the box office.
Yeah,
It
the
didn't
marketing.
get any money.
And
The marketing was terrible. The marketing was terrible.
Yeah, the marketing was terrible.
Yeah.
No one barely went to see it. So I don't think you can say that movie is overrated. The first one you could say is overrated.
But I think they're making the argument is that since the first movie wasn't that popular, were people really clamoring for a sequel, and were more people really going to come see this, even if if the marketing for it was good? Does it have enough of a fan base for it to make a lot of money?
No, it's true. His last movie was overrated. Once Upon a Time, I don't think.
Oh yeah, fuck that movie. Fuck Once
that
Upon a
movie.
Time in Hollywood.
There's some issues I have.
I
with
might be able to agree. Yeah, it's a little overrated.
It's a little overrated, but not like in the level of movies I just named off.
Well, but I would say like compared to like Hateful Eight, right? Hateful Eight, in my opinion, is the better movie. But Once Upon a Time got all the Oscars and all the awards and all the attention and all the, you know what I mean? So I think, I don't know. That I can kind of see that.
I like both those movies, but they're both slags to get through.
They
Slow
sure
burns.
are.
They're slow burns, yeah. I do highly recommend the Hateful Eight Netflix series cut.
Yeah, the 4-hour one.
That's
pretty
good.
good.
That's
I
good.
like it. I like that.
But did you think of any overrated movie? Yeah.
I mean, I just said Lion King, but let me think. If we're talking about like people that the masterpieces, Inception, I think is overrated. I like Inception. I don't think it's bad, but it's like people saying it's one of the best films ever. No, it's not. Even like the effects that in the movie that people praise, like it's not anything that groundbreaking to me. I feel like I've seen stuff like that in other films. I mean, he did it well, but I didn't walk in there and be like, "Oh my god, it's gonna change the game." Like, no.
Right.
I agree. No, but that's just some overrated movies I could think of. There's a lot of underrated ones too. I want to get.
I mean,
to.
I could talk about the X-Men films, but I don't know if that's like they're praised to high regard. All of them. I guess
Right.
let me step on the ones that people actually love, like X2, First Class. They're both overrated. Yeah, I can.
Days of Future Past is overrated.
Those are
Fuck.
two of the best X-Men films, and you know
So
it.
is Logan.
That's not a high bar.
I never said that. I never said the bar was high. I just said they are two of the best X-Men films
We
that we have.
You know what is overrated?
But
Man of Steel. It's pretty overrated. Just like The Dark Knight is.
how dare you?
Pretty overrated.
How dare you?
You know, especially the Ultimate Edition. That's the most overrated one of them all.
That's true.
What Ultimate Edition?
VBS.
Oh, I
That's
didn't. I didn't hear you say
overrated.
that. I didn't.
The
hear you say that.
absolute glorified
Overrated.
mess of BBS.
I agree with you.
Oh, I don't care about that. Fuck
Even though I
you.
like the Ultimate Cut, it's
And he
very-
comes back just for that. Puts himself on camera just for that.
even though I like the Ultimate Cut, it is overrated from the Snyder fandom. For people that saying, "Oh, it's one of the greatest comic book films ever made." No, it's not. It's not.
Not a masterpiece.
Zack Snyder ruined the DCU in the second movie overall.
So did Chris Terry.
So
but
did WB.
Yeah, everyone did. No, but Eddie, can you think of any overrated movies? Top of your head?
I was to say BVS's joke, but I'm mixed on that movie, to be honest. I can admit Avatar was probably overrated, or I don't want to say The Dark Knight because that movie really did a lot for comic book movies. It really did. But I can see kind of how people would say that, to be honest. The first Avengers movie, I could probably say that. Zack Snyder's Justice League is definitely overrated. I don't think it's a masterpiece at all.
Stepping on some toes right there.
Freaking. I'm trying to think of other things besides established IP movies, but it's hard.
Oh, you'll appreciate this, Austin. La La Land.
I like La La Land, but
No,
I like La La Land, but yeah, it wasn't honestly one of the best original it was for me. It was just I think I said this to Brad. What I enjoy about that movie is that it doesn't have a happy ending. I'm sick like that, in that I like movies that don't give me a happy ending, especially musicals like that. So
I respect that.
it did have a happy ending. Come on, it just that they weren't together. But he got his place to perform on his own because before that his
he
character was
had
just.
to look at her come in every night
Yes,
with
but
her.
that's what he wanted, though. That's what he wanted, though, right? To get she wanted to be a movie star, and he wanted his own place to play music and all that stuff. They got what they wanted. That's what they were saying in the beginning. What they wanted before they got together.
That's false, Anthony, because Avatar is overrated. So that's false.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, Avatar is
And-
overrated.
And I'm going to say this right now. We know what the word by definition means.
Right.
We're not children, okay? We know what the word means. And most of the movies I named off, I like the movies. When I like something, I can admit it's overrated. That's the problem with a lot of people nowadays, is they get offended when they say something's overrated. But it's pretty overrated.
No,
Just because I say something's overrated doesn't mean it's bad, right?
Right. I
This
mean,
means
you can still enjoy it, but yeah.
it's overhyped.
Right.
The sense I'm talking about, overrated that we're talking about, is overhyped.
I think.
Yeah. Like Dune.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
You know what it
Dune.
means.
I think Dune is. I was about to say Dune. I swear.
Dune. All right, I can admit, like,
Yeah, Dune's overrated. I do think
how is
that
it
movie
overrated?
is
How is Dune
I
overrated?
think it's phenomenal.
The movie is not overrated.
I love it. Every it's
Are you kidding me? Everyone's praising the movie. It
rated or
pretty
valued
much
too highly.
it swiped up the
Everyone
awards.
praised
It took most of the awards.
I'm talking about the
It just-
IP.
It deserves
the
it.
IP.
I'm not going to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I kind of think that one in '84 wasn't that bad, to be honest.
Oh,
Wait, what'd you say?
fucking kill me.
Ah, come on! I said it wasn't that bad.
Wait,
I know, I'm
wait,
just messing
I didn't hear what he said. What did he say?
Oh, he said 84 wasn't that bad, but I'm just messing with him.
I mean, I don't think it's like one of the worst comic book films ever made. No, it's just it was a significant step back.
No. I was talking about Dune.
Oh, I thought.
Well, if you were talking about IPs, I had one. I was gonna say I think the Lord of the Rings.
I'm talking about just anything.
Oh.
I think the Lord of the Rings is
But
overrated.
I
Dune,
mean, '84 isn't to be honest. Just to go to Wonder Woman, I don't think it was that bad. To be honest, it's not that
No,
crappy.
that was bad,
but-
dude. That was
I don't
bad.
think it was that crappy. It's just that it's the story that nobody wanted.
facts. It's pure cinema.
Yeah, it's pure half of a cinema.
I agree. I love Dune.
Oh, I guess just people want everything, the whole story force-fed to them now.
I mean, look, I went into this knowing it was a part one, so that's what I expected. But it's just like literally where they left it off, like that. I don't know.
That's where the first part of the book ends off, though. Like, that's what I love most about it is the first movie, David Lynch movie. I despise the David Lynch movie. I will not.
I never saw it. I never saw it.
I don't. It's bad. It's bad. But one thing I don't like about that movie is he crammed the whole fucking book in 1 2-hour movie. There is a cut.
No.
I think he has like a 3-hour cut of it. That's out on YouTube that I will not watch.
That's still not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. There's not enough, footage you can put in there to get everything in the book that you need to get.
Yeah.
There's some stuff you can cut out. Like in the new movie, there was a lot of important scenes that they filmed, but they didn't put in the movie that I kind of wish they put them in there, just for the importance of the story. But it wasn't a necessity. Like those scenes being in there wasn't a detriment to the movie at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, just like for people calling this a masterpiece already, and it's not even the full story. I mean, I guess it comes to. I guess it's a testament to how
I agree.
Will is made. I mean, I still enjoyed the movie. I liked it quite a bit, but just like for people just praising it so much, like I don't know, I'm just not there yet. And I'm their target demographic as well. Like I'm someone who doesn't know much about the Dune lore. This movie is supposed to bring me in, and it kind of did. But there's still some stuff where I'm like, I'm feeling kind of a disconnect because I don't fully understand.
That was understandable. Me personally, I think it's a masterpiece, and I think the second movie, I already know what the second movie is going to be, and it's going to be you guys are going to be blown the fuck away.
That's what
It's
I'm
gonna be
afraid
amazing.
of. Like this is going to be like a Kill Bill Volume 1 versus Volume 2 situation, where it's like, is the second movie just going to blow their entire load in that one?
Yeah, the second one, there's a lot that goes on. There's going to be a lot that happens in that second movie. If you guys remember, Jessica's pregnant, so she has Paul's sister. Paul's sister is then taken by the Harkonnens, and something happens at the very. I know, okay. So the Baron's death. There's one thing I want to talk about before I get to the last thing. Before it's out. The Baron's death. Okay, how they handle it in the next movie is going to be interesting because in the original movie, here's a spoiler alert for how the Baron dies. So Paul's sister is basically a mentat. All right. Well, Paul is a mentat. He was born a mentat. He was born part of the Bene Gesserit bloodline. All this other shit. Blah 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 blah. Okay. The sister is born with every memory of the Reverend Mother. So that lady you saw put Paul's hand in the box. She has like all the knowledge. She's a very powerful being. She was born with every memory, every instinct of those people from her ancestry line. And so she's the one who kills the Baron Harkonnen at the very end of the story. But in the original movie, the way he dies, the gum jabbar, the needle she put on his neck in the movie, that's what the sister kills him with. But she just stabs his belly with it. and he like deflates like a balloon and like flies around the room and just like he pretty much like explodes.
It's like a cartoon.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's like a Looney Tunes episode. It's really odd. It's a very weird death. I'm not exactly sure if he dies like that in the books, but I know that he does get killed by her.
I'm
So
sure
it's gonna be
Denis
very-
Villeneuve will make it more cool and gritty.
Yeah,
and intense.
He's gonna make it more ritualistic, I'm guessing.
Maybe.
But I'm kind of disappointed in the Feyd-Rautha casting. Robert Pattinson is the perfect casting for Feyd-Rautha. Who was the guy they were talking about?
The guy that's about to be Elvis.
Yeah, Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Fuck no. What? Yeah. But what's interesting is because I posted something on Twitter the other day because there was like a mock-up version of Austin Butler as Feyd but bald. In the books, in the movies, Feyd's not bald. The Harkonnens aren't really bald, in the book and in the lore in general. But I guess Denis Villeneuve, his interpretation of them, they're all bald, I guess, which is
Okay.
interesting. I guess I don't know why. But what have we done to Max? He's signing all his paperwork for the old retirement home right now. He's being put out. No, I'm not gonna say
Like old Yeller.
He's being put out like pasture. Yeah. No, Max is okay. He's taking the day off. We're gonna be doing this every other Wednesday for people who are just tuning in who don't know. Every other Wednesday at 5:00 PST time. All the youngins of the community, all that fun stuff. But before we end today, I want to get two things out of the way before we end. Moon Knight came out last night. Okay. My first thoughts, Austin's first thoughts. Eddie, I believe, saw it. DL has not seen it yet, but when he does see it, we'll get his thoughts on the next stream for sure. Because I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this. So I know you were saying before we started, you were skeptical about it, and you were going to wait to see the full show to really be have a solid, like this is good.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally understand why, because the MCU shows have just been so fucking wow. It's been interesting,
especially after you watch Moon Knight.
Yes. Like I implore people to watch every pilot of every MCU show to date and watch this one and tell me that this is not the best one. Tell me that this is not the best pilot.
I hope it is. I hope it is. I want it to surprise me. I want it to blow me away. So I'm hoping for the best.
No, it's really good, and I think there's some things that I kind of thought was going to be in the first episode that we saw in the trailers, and me and him were talking about that last night. I love when the marketing does that, when they don't show us barely anything. They show us like the first episode pretty much, and they show us some glimpses from other episodes, not too much. They don't reveal any information that we don't need to know before seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they should do that more often with movies too. Yeah. Like show us like the first, act, maybe a little action in the second or third act. Don't give us any really story. I'm tired of trailers giving me the whole movie before I see the movie. So like
F9.
Exactly. Jurassic World. He gave me the whole story of that movie pretty much in that trailer. So I'm like,
yeah, it was a big 3-minute trailer.
Yeah, it was the longest part.
But like even with Marvel's been doing this for a minute, not just with their shows and stuff, but like I remember when Endgame was being marketed and stuff, they were like, we're only putting the first 20 minutes in the trailer. That's the only stuff. And you had like that one shot of Cap, zipping up the shield at the end. But everything else, I love that in that, I have no idea what's coming after this. I don't, I haven't seen any footage, and I love how I think we get a little spoiled too, because even like during the marketing and as we were watching, the trailers that were coming out every day, I was kind of like, all right, I've seen this 1,000 times. They're just reusing the footage and stuff. But at the end, I'm really grateful that they don't use any more.
Yeah, like remember, I don't know if you guys remember, like back in the day when J.J. Abrams does teasers for his movies. You barely know anything about the movie. It's all just about atmosphere. Like
same with Christopher Nolan, he does that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's those like okay, maybe you are right. Interstellar might be a little overrated, but the Interstellar teaser, that teaser
Yeah.
came out, and you were like, "What the hell is this movie?" It was Matthew McConaughey narrating about space, and you're like, "What?"
Right. Or thinking like Cloverfield,
Oh,
bruh, we had no idea what was like destroying the town. No idea what was going on.
And I think the best way to market your movie is to have the most buzz about it. If you have the most buzz, you don't have to worry. The seats are sold themselves. If you just have one of those teasers like Cloverfield, okay, that first trailer that appeared with the Statue of Liberty
The
head,
head of the Statue of Liberty. I'm like,
you just sold out your theaters.
Yep.
That's how easy it is. Okay,
Or
you don't need to spend all this money for marketing. Just make a good trailer.
yeah, or even like with Star Trek 09. Before that point, I didn't care that much about Star Trek, but like literally that first teaser when they're doing construction on the Enterprise and you had
Yes.
Leonard Nimoy doing Space the Final Frontier. I was like, whoa, what is this?
Right.
I actually want to see a Star Trek movie now.
No, I love 09's probably the best out of those movies for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm not really interested to see the new one, to be honest. Like Beyond, I can never get through it. I always get the same part of that movie, never get through it.
Yeah, I get why.
Would you be interested if it was that whole bringing Chris Hemsworth back idea or whatever?
Yeah, because they were supposed to do a prequel movie about him as James T. Kirk, his dad,
Right.
his father. He was going to play his dad. He was actually supposed to be in the second movie. He was going to be in the second movie.
In
He's
the
going to have a big
Darkness?
role. Yeah,
Really?
it's going to be the second movie.
I mean,
He was going to have a much bigger role.
I still want to see more because I love the cast for the new movies as well.
I do as well. I think they're great.
No, what I love most about the cast is you can watch the OST and watch 09. They act the exact same.
Exact same.
Their
Yes.
mannerisms, the way they move, and talk, it's fantastic.
Bro, it's great.
The new Kirk for Strange New Worlds, I could care less about. They have done nothing, and this is not their fault. This is on me for my personal interest and liking of Star Trek right now under the current leadership it's in.
That was Kurtzman.
Yes, but bringing back I was super excited for Strange New Worlds. Okay, just to get it out. I was super excited for it. I love the guy who played him in Discovery season 2. Great casting, great chemistry, great charisma as Christopher Pike. I don't care about seeing OST fucking characters before the show. If I want to see OST characters or the original show characters, I'll watch the original show. I don't need a prequel with different actors. I just have no interest.
Fan service.
I have no interest in it anymore. And you know what's interesting is they heard the backlash with Discovery when they contradicted the original series. Right. When they chose to put Discovery before that or during. I think it's during the original series, I believe. I'm forgetting. I don't know. I get it all mixed up. But it's interesting how they heard the backlash. They fixed it in Discovery by time jumping to the furthest point we've ever been in Star Trek before. And now they're like, oh, you know what? We're gonna do the same thing that we bait and we switched on them. We switched on them real quick after we heard the backlash, and we're gonna go back and do the same goddamn thing.
Did they not learn from Into Darkness? Why are we doing this again?
I just don't understand how that makes sense. And mind this, I want to put this out there. I like New Trek. I'm not one of those people who just hates it and they're ruining the original. They're ruining Gene Roddenberry's vision for Star Trek. They're not doing it. I enjoy Picard. Last week's episode was a big disappointment, but the first 3 episodes were really good, and I'm excited for the rest of the show. I'm going to give Discovery a chance again. But what do you? Yeah.
I need to catch up with Trek. I haven't watched much of the modern Trek. I watched a couple episodes of Discovery, then I stopped, and I haven't watched one episode of Discovery. I watched a couple episodes of Lower Decks, and I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, it's not because the show itself I think is badly made. I think it's just that type of humor is not for me.
It's like a Rick and Morty for Star Trek.
It's a Rick and Morty type of stuff, and it's I just personally don't care for that type of humor. So that one's probably not for me.
I've seen a few episodes that my dad put on, and it wasn't really for me. Like some of the humor got me here and there. Just like with Rick and Morty now, I love that show, but I tried watching the 5th season. I didn't laugh once. The entire season, I didn't laugh once. I didn't even giggle. I was just like, this is not funny anymore. It's just not funny.
No. So my goal is to rewatch all the shows and all the movies of Star Trek and do reviews on them.
Whoa.
And I'll eventually get to Modern Trek. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll definitely jump on there with you. Did you see that before boring people with Star Trek? But did you see that they're releasing the director's edition of the motion picture?
Yes. Yeah.
You see the trailer? The trailer for it looked phenomenal.
The trailer looked really good. Yes.
But there's one thing that I wish they wouldn't do. It's they updated like the VFX for like one of the ship designs.
They pulled Star Wars.
They pulled a fucking Star Wars. They pulled a George Lucas, and I was like, oh come on! Like I
mean that exception I was fine with because I didn't think the effects of the original cut was that great. So.
No, and I love Star Trek, but I saw that movie in theaters at a special screening a few years ago. I fell asleep. It's a really boring movie.
It's
super
so boring.
Rathacon is such an improvement.
Yes, Rathacon is the best. It's the best.
What's up, Isaac? How's it going, man?
Isaac.
Are you there, Isaac? You there?
You copy. Okay, bye.
Okay. He'll be back. He'll be back. He has Geeks Wi-Fi. It's okay. It's KFC Wi-Fi. White Castle Wi-Fi.
Turkish chicken Wi-Fi.
But no, Eddie, you saw Moon Knight, right?
Yes, I did see it when it came out. I liked it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I had a review on it and everything on my channel. I don't know anything about the character. I know I was making jokes to get people mad that it's a budget Batman and stuff, the character. But I seen some stuff from it when it comes to like animation, at least when it comes to Moon Knight. Like I said, I hardly know anything about the character besides the personality disorder and all that stuff. But no, it was cool at first episode. I like Steven, even though he's a bit of a loser. Like he's like soft spoken, a bit of a nerd and a pushover. But annoying. I seen the reviews from the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, the ones who saw the first 4 episodes, saying that you better get used to him because he's mostly going to be there. I know Mark, the other personality, the cool one, is the one people are going to want to see. But I think Steven deserves something because I did feel bad for him, especially that steak restaurant scene where he missed the date because that was 2 days ago, and it looked like he was in a point of tears. I was like, I feel bad for him there. But I think it's gonna be cool to see further on Mark and Steven in the compare and contrast when it comes to that. Even the backstory with the god or spirit or whatever it's called that's inside him. I did know the name, but I forgot.
Contra is the giant thing.
But in terms of Ethan Hawke's Arthur, I forgot his last name, with the cult and all that stuff, and they worship Amit, that demon god thing, that Easter heart. You know the thing about Egyptian mythology where you're in the underworld, you're in a scale, your heart gets weighed with a feather, and if your heart is heavier than the feather, then you're a bad person. If your heart is lighter than the feather, you're a good person. All that stuff. It was cool to see that stuff. And he tried to do it. He tried to do it on Steven too, but he couldn't because of the chaos within him. But that's interesting that they worship that entity and stuff like that. But no, I did like the show. I look. People thought that this was gonna be rated R. It's not. It's pushing PG. I'm not gonna lie. It is. We see some things.
That first scene was not PG. I was looking away. I was like,
I will say this: they are making an excuse with the blackouts to not show the actual graphic violence.
Oh, and
they did it in the first episode
too.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that was
gross.
That was the thing I told Bradley after. Was like it was cool to see them. This show embraces horror more so than Doctor Strange does.
Yeah,
like it embraces the like. If a child watches this, they will be terrified. Like,
see,
it's that was cool to see.
without
Making me
saying
more
too much.
intrigued.
I agree with that, but they did it like 3 times with the blackouts that didn't show what happened, but we saw people dead bodies afterwards. I don't think further on they're gonna do that, but I think it was just for a first episode basis that they're gonna just black it out. I hope they can go further than just the regular action scenes that they show blood and people broken bones, all that stuff. But I think it was a first fine step. Like I said, we need the backstory for everything, and if you and people like Grace Randolph were complaining they don't really explain it right, or it's kind of inconsistent in terms of the show overall. I like I said, I don't know anything about the character hardly, so I can't really. And we only seen like the first episode, but I'm interested enough. I like the costume; it looks cool. It's a shame that they spoil it in the trailers, and that's the same exact scene when he went to use it for the first time. But no, it's cool. Like I said, they had to use flashbacks or something because Layla, the woman that's gonna be in the show as well, that she had that scene in the phone with him, and she was interacting with Mark for months. So obviously there has to be something to do with what they were doing. And Steven didn't know anything about this too. There was months going on of this. So I had to know what's going on with that, the scare up. What exactly does Arthur want to do with the scare up? Like there's lots of things that we really don't know about to be honest. But yeah, it's a good first step, I guess.
Yeah, it was good. It's going to be interesting to see the show evolve as we go forward for sure. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. That was all the topics I had. There wasn't really that much movies news today, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
I mean, other
Well,
than the
well, Snyder stuff, yeah.
Ezra Miller situation.
The
But,
Miller situation. All right. There's just one thing I'll say about the Ezra Miller situation. Okay. I don't think, and this is not a funny topic. Anyone making light of this in a funny or comedic way should be ashamed of themselves. It's not one of those situations where you can poke fun. It's like Kanye. Like I don't like when people do that to Kanye, even though he says a lot of stupid shit. But I can sympathize with the man with his bipolar and stuff like that because I had the same thing. I'm very similar to Kanye, and I understand what that man goes through. And I think publicly shaming and making bullying, it's basically cyberbullying, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that you can't say cyberbullying is just for high schoolers because it's not. You can do it as an adult. You can do it to celebrities. You can do it to a lot of people. It affects them. You don't know if it affects them or not, but it probably does. But I honestly think Ezra Miller needs some help. I think he needs some professional help. I'm genuinely concerned about Ezra Miller right now, and that's my biggest issue with society. And this is going to get pretty weird here for a minute. My biggest issue with society is like artists like Little Peep, right, in the music industry, right? We hear with Kurt Cobain, we hear of these people express themselves in the new medium that we're familiar with, and we like it. We like when they sing songs, but we don't really pay attention that much to the lyrics, and it's too late when they're gone, when we do realize it. So I think people need to be more aware of people's behavior, especially celebrities, and maybe not go the negative route and make it comedic and make fun of them. I think the safest thing is pull for them, pray for them if that's your thing, or just wish them the best. I think that's the best thing you can do. Anything else is just stupid in my opinion. I don't think making light of the situation, making fun of him for his issues that he's having right now is just not a good look for you if you're doing that. And I'm genuinely concerned for him. I know Austin is. I know a lot of us are.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like him as an actor, but as a human being or them. Sorry, I'm totally mispronouncing his pronouns this whole time. I'm sorry for that.
Wait, so Ezra goes by them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always forget.
Yeah, I forget.
But yeah, I think they need to get some help, and Warner Brothers has a decision to make, I think, and there's only so much they can bury, in my opinion. That choking incident, that was like a one-time, like you're fucking lucky you got away with that. Right. You're lucky no one's, we know about it. We remember it.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it. It's out there in the world, and this situation, there's another situation as well that happened. I can't remember exactly what happened though, but this situation, it's just going to get worse from here if this keeps happening.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of shocked that nobody stopped him and be like, "Hey, you need to get your stuff together." Like the first incident that happened, like they should have laid down the law there, but they continue to let him just do this ridiculous stuff, and now it couldn't have come at a worse time
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's Fantastic Beasts is about to open in a couple weeks,
Yep.
and they can't even be there to do press because of the controversy. And then what's this going to mean for the Flash as well? You know,
Well, I think it's interesting. Grace said something about this the other day. I take everything she says with a grain of salt. Every scooper, I don't like scoops, whatever. But she did say, she heard that was related to the film being pushed back was his mental issues right now. And I think that's a shame. I don't want that for anyone, especially an actor that's going, through what they go through. But it's a very concerning situation, and it's exactly, it's a pattern. It's becoming a pattern now. The next time there's nothing you can do to bury it next time. Like if one more time, he's done.
he's done.
People are gonna, outcast him, which is sad. I don't want that. I don't want society, in film society as well, to outcast him just because he has mental issues, and he's not on his end game. And I think that's a shame that people are acting like that. But they always do. They always pull some shit like that. It's whatever.
Oh, so they need to hold them accountable for this stuff, man.
I
They can't
do.
let this happen again.
Hold them accountable. You need to at least offer some studio counseling. I don't fucking know. I don't know. This is not my profession. I don't know any advice or anything. So don't, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I think there's a lot more they could be doing for these people. Instead of burying it, just being like, be good
Burying
boy.
it and ignoring it. Yeah.
Be good boy. No.
Everything, nothing to see here.
Yeah, nothing to see. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today, guys. So for anyone who doesn't know, make sure to catch all us youngins, every other Wednesday on this channel for sure. At 5:00 PST time. So yeah, Isaac did not come back. I'm pretty sure his internet just completely went out. So we'll get Isaac on next time. We'll get on some other people next time for sure. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Dial, Eddie, and of course my babies.
Oh,
So
appreciate you having me.
of course, guys, and make sure to like the stream, share out the streams for sure, and support Max. I don't know if he's going live later tonight, but if he is, go support Max. Let's get him some thumbs up. So as soon as he posts his video, go berate his video and just smash the like button. Just give him a bunch of likes and comments and stuff. We love you, Max. Much love, Max, and thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to have our young voices heard on our own show.
I appreciate you guys calling me young. I'm almost 30. So.
Hey, we're all young at heart.
I'm turning 25 in 2 months, and I think I'm already having my midlife crisis.
Oh,
So it's great. It's great.
I remember when I was 25.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
I remember 20.
I remember 2019 like it
Yes!
was yesterday.
Back in my day, 2 years ago.
Back in my day.
Before the event.
Right. Make sure to go check out DL's channel for sure, and go check out Eddie's channel as well. They're awesome guys, some awesome videos for sure. And when you do those Star Trek videos, let me know, DL. I'll probably hop on this with you. I want to show this guy some Star Trek movies too, because I've only shown him Picard. That's the only Star Trek he's seen.
You only showed him Picard?
Yeah, he's only seen like the first 2 episodes of the second season too.
I saw the J.J. Abrams movie, so I saw the
J.J. Abrams movies. But yeah, go check out these guys and go check out Little Big Cities Studios as well. I think in April we're gonna be coming back with Lean on Me. It's been like a weird few weeks. We haven't done anything at all on his channel, so we'll be coming back with that in April.
Little Big City is currently a sports channel right now. So if you're in sports, check out Little Big City.
But all right, guys, it's time to let the dinosaurs take back the channel. All right, time to let the dinosaurs roam free. Time to let them out of the gates, out of the retirement facility. It's time for tennis. They're going to play some tennis now. Need
Tennis.
some eat some antibiotics.
They get
And then
their
you go-
hour time in the yard and then they go back.
They get an hour and they get a stick. They get a stick and two rocks. That's all they get.
Dang.
You're
And-
really good. You get a paddle and a string on a ball. And that's
It's not even the good kind either. It's the shitty
yeah, it's a
plastic kind.
really shitty paddle. Like
It breaks. The strap breaks the second you fucking hit it against the thing. All right, guys. Much love and appreciation to you all. Make sure to like the stream, share out the stream, and support Max later on. Peace the hell out.